loading snacks.
Hey.
Yo.
It's spread out.
Happening.
What it do, snackers, snackettes, snack X's? It's your boy Gage. Jokes is in the building.
Yo.
Sin is sickly in the building.
Yep, I'm here.
Whoa!
Okay,
On time.
Whoa!
What's up? The first one in the building.
Yeah, but like we ain't seen Slim in like 3 weeks. So like
He gonna make up for it. I'm gonna be on time.
like 3 shows late. You know what I'm saying? Cuddy said he can't see us. J. Robert Deans, how are you? I don't know what's going on, Cuddy. If you can't see us, Ty and J. Robert Deans, y'all are on YouTube. Are y'all able to see us?
Yeah, I'm okay. I woke up feeling really under the weather, so I'm ready to knock this out, down some NyQuil, and go to sleep. So, but it is what it is.
Facts. Because show must go on.
That's right.
Hey, Cuddy, there it is. Cuddy said what he sees is us sitting on the couch.
That.
You see that?
I think his screen froze.
I think your joint's broke.
I think you need to refresh.
There it is. He said,
there you go.
There we go.
F5.
You are now tuned in to Loading Snacks Weekly, where we get together once a week and we talk about all the things that are happening in pop culture. And today, we're going to talk about who just broke the interwebs, y'all. The interwebs.
Your
We're
boy.
about breaking the internet. You know what I'm saying? We will be talking about Hawkeye a little bit. We're talking about Hawkeye. We're gonna talk about Mass Effect. We might even talk about wrestling a little bit. Jokes, don't get excited. Yeah, we'll see. First, I got 2 letters for you. Hi, Riri. What? No, maybe no. We're gonna talk about. I don't know. Did y'all see the new Halo Infinite trailer?
Nah.
Didn't watch it.
Well, we're gonna.
Cool.
It's so much to talk about.
Ty. I'm caught up. Ty.
Where is it? Where are the spoiler boys? Let me tell you what happened to the spoiler boys. Somebody named Jokes ain't watched the thing, so we gotta do it without him. That's how it's going down. Hey, Jokes, did you see Eternals yet?
Nope.
Weak.
Talking about a fail, bro.
Did you at least watch Hawkeye?
Yeah, I watched Hawkeye.
Okay. So I don't know, man. Listen, it's been busy. It's a busy weekend. It's a holiday weekend, and it's a Black Friday weekend. There's a lot going on, man. So, like, bear with us. We know we have trained you all to expect more. And trust me, more is coming, but good God. Yeah, you can take a pee break when it's time to talk wrestling. Look, here's what I want to do. So, Amy Pascal, who is the producer for the Spider-Man films on the Sony side, who is a problem for running her mouth. Like, I feel like Kevin Feige would punch her in the throat if he could.
No blue pill.
Hey, listen, that variant better not, buddy. I am. Before we get into what happened to tickets and ticket sales, I want to talk about Amy Pascal saying, after we literally just discussed that this is like Tom Holland's last film in Spider-Man before his ensemble film, at least based on what his contract says, she just all kinds of jumped out there. She had an interview with Fandango, right? This is what I want y'all to see. So Fandango says to her, you know, as you wrap up this trilogy of films in collaboration with Marvel Studios, she said, can I say something about that? No, Amy. You're not supposed to say nothing. Hold on. Listen, Amy, you get ready to make a mistake. Like, you talk about the spoiler boys. Amy.
Oh, man. They're like, you can absolutely say something.
Can I say something about that? They say, sure. This is not the last movie that we're going to make with Marvel. It's not the last Spider-Man movie. We are getting ready to make the next Spider-Man movie with Tom Holland and Marvel. It just isn't part of, We're thinking of this as 3 films, and now we're gonna go on to the next 3. This is not the last of our MCU movies. Let me stop right there. I feel like she made all that right, like she made all of that up right there. Like she just like, I want people to stop saying that because we still want to do this. Listen, I understand Tom is making y'all money.
Yeah,
He
it's that
is.
whole part of the stumble with we think of the first 3 as
Oh,
one,
yeah.
and we're gonna do 3 more as like another trilogy. Like what?
It almost sounds like she's trying to set up like three trilogies, like it's Star Wars or
Trilogy.
something. Like we about to go in again. Fandango says it's great to know that this collaboration is going to continue. Yes, Marvel and Sony are going to keep going together as partners. Now, here's the thing. I almost don't care if this actually happens. Let me be super clear about that. As a Spider-Man fan and fan of the current run of films, I almost don't care if they do another trilogy with Tom. As a matter of fact, I would currently prefer if they didn't, and here's why. This feels like something that like she's trying to force on Marvel and Feige. Like it doesn't feel like they're actually having that conversation and they're actually talking about this as a thing and they're going to continue with it and it's going to be part of the MCU and whatever. It doesn't feel like that to me. It feels like she's trying to force their hand. There are 2 things about that. One, none of the Spider-Man films have been anywhere close to being as successful as this run with Tom Holland. You can try to blame Tom Holland, but it's not Tom. It's Kevin Feige in the MCU. It is the MCU and what the MCU has built that has made this run of Spider-Man films as important and as big as they are, period. If any of the rest of those films had something behind it like the MCU and the rest of the world and world building behind it, they are just as successful, period. It's not Tom. It's not Zendaya. It's not. It's just not. I like them, but that's not what it is. So there's a need for Sony to like, we kind of need y'all because yes, we own the license and we can keep going, but we'd much rather still be a part of this universe. Because if they're not, I bet you it doesn't do as well. Here's the other thing about that. The second part of that, and I'm gonna get to you in a second, Ty. Here's the second part of that. The second part of that is the longer Sony keeps Tom Holland on as Spider-Man, the higher the likelihood they're going to ruin it. The higher the likelihood he will actually age out, and it will be too much if they don't do it just right. Y'all got Spider-Verse 2 popping. Do that. You know what I mean? What they do with this in terms of, and again, I'll hold on a little bit to it.
Okay.
I like it. I'll hold a little bit on to it until, like, I see what they're doing in terms of putting in the Spider-Verse or something like that. Right. But until that happens, I'm not excited about this. Ty, but did she spoil anything? I'll be surprised if we get 6 more films with him. He is the most beloved Spider-Man to date. Is he though? Again, is he?
I think he's the most. I think he's the most liked out of all of them.
Hey, Jokes, if you don't get in the chat and kick.
Oh, I already did. Oh, you didn't see that pop? Oh no, I
Okay, thank you.
boot.
So, what'd you say, Sin?
No, I said I think he is the most. I'm probably not. I don't know how do I word it. The most liked out of all 3 of them, probably.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like, Marcus, you'd have to be a mod somewhere else. You're incredible. You when Toby was Spider-Man, he was universally loved. Period. When Andrew was Spider-Man, people had issues with the fact that he's replacing Toby. They had
Mhm.
issues with how like harsh he was as a Spider-Man. I feel like there were issues with Andrew, technically, being
Mhm.
Spider-Man, though I liked him as Spider-Man. Toby was like, say what you want, until he started crying, because that dude's a terrible crier. But like, I feel like that joint was universally loved. Right now, I'm not saying that people don't love Tom. I think that we live in an age now of social media, Instagram, and all that kind of stuff. I think that a lot of Tom's fandom comes from his relationship with Zendaya, because Zendaya's fandom is a lot like Beyonce's fandom. Like, they will go to war for that youngin. And the relationship that he has with her, how close they are, and them sharing each other on their social medias and stuff like that, I think it has built much more hype. I don't think he's more beloved. I think that it's an era where things are very different in the way that that information is put in front of us and given to us. I don't know. We'll see what happens with this Uncharted film.
Mm-hmm.
Toby basically did nothing after Spider-Man. They had like one movie. Yeah, like Black Stallion or something like that. And that
The
was like,
Secretariat or something like that.
yeah,
Yeah.
like that was it.
Seabiscuit or something he did.
Seabiscuit.
Wasn't he?
That's
That's
the
what it
joint.
was?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Wasn't he in one of
That's
them
the joint.
war movies? Wasn't he? Or was that? Did that come out before
No, that
Spider-Man?
No, what, war movie?
Yeah, he was in like Jarhead or something like. He wasn't the main character. He was like a supporting character in there.
I mean, listen, I don't know. I know that Andrew Garfield has gone on to do things that I think were much better than what he did in Spider-Man and establish himself as an actor. Tom still needs to do that.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a couple of films that are coming under his, coming up,
Mhm.
and we'll see what happens. But like, what he's done, other than be in the MCU, he's gonna have to fight being typecast. That's just kind of what that is, which means he's gonna have to, like, he's almost suffering from like Harry Potter syndrome. You know what I mean? And being kind of like, you can't see him as anything else.
And that's not gonna go away with them supposedly doing 3 more of them. You know what I mean?
Absolutely
And ensemble films. We've been living with him as Peter Parker and Spider-Man for all these years. It'll be a tough fight to get out of that.
I agree, 100%. Cuddy said Toby was more popular. He was hanging with Leo, and they had a young actors clique. I mean, sure. I mean, he was definitely in that joint with like people like Soleil Moonfry, who I don't even know if you know who that is, but like they were in. There was but he wasn't doing. He was like, who? What's another movie that he was in? Don't Google it. Just tell me. Because if
Which
it ain't
one of them?
Seabiscuit,
the only one I can think of is Seabiscuit and Spider-Man. It's like the only ones that come to my mind.
and that was back then.
Oh,
That's
Tropic
right,
Thunder.
Huh?
He had a little piece in Tropic Thunder.
Did he? I don't remember.
Wait, I was saying,
I just watched that.
That must be
in the fake trailers in the beginning, wasn't he in it? With
Yes,
Robert.
yes, briefly.
Yeah.
My sister Candace said Tom is definitely more beloved than Zendaya or not. I disagree, but I hear you. I mean, I think that there is a very. I also think here's the other thing. Again, social media is different. Disney is different. What Disney is doing is different. The effect that Marvel has had on young people. Tom is popular because Spider-Man was already the most popular comic book character there is, period. But Spider-Man is much more popular now. Please do not mistake the fact that it is tied to the MCU. That is the reason why that's the case. There have been Spider-Man shows, cartoons, toys, the entire time. That never went away. What it's like right now is way over the top. A lot of that has to do with the fact that there are much younger people who are drawn into this and are going to stay drawn into this. There are young people who Tom is their Spider-Man and will be their Spider-Man, and it has been their Spider-Man for a large portion of their lives. So I think in hindsight, people like Tom more than they like Toby. But at the time, Toby was incredible.
Yeah.
And if they replace Tom with another Spider-Man, it could just as easily turn into the same thing, because it's less likely to be another Peter Parker and more likely to be a Miles Morales.
Mm-hmm.
It's more likely to be a Spider-Gwen than it is to be another Peter Parker. But it's possible. Ty said people love Spider-Man, not Toby, in my opinion. He was just a benefactor of the fandom yearning for comic book movies at the time. Again, I disagree, because I think this is the same thing. This is not about loving Tom Holland.
What up, Alfonso?
This is about loving Spider-Man. And the reason why it's that thing is because, again, right now, Tom Holland is basically typecast. So what else is he in that people love? What else has he done that people love? When people think of and or see him, what do they think of him as?
Spider-Man. Peter Parker.
And Toby is the same way to this day.
Yep.
So he is trying to break out of that by doing things like Uncharted, which, again, we'll see how that turns out. Maybe it just feels like Peter Parker playing Uncharted. You know what I mean? Like, because that's what people have seen.
No, I'm looking forward to Uncharted for that specific reason. Because when I was watching the trailer for it, I was like, okay, I'm getting Sully vibes from Mark Wahlberg, but I'm not getting Drake vibes from Tom Holland. So I want to see it to see if he's actually pulling off, Drake. Yep. So I do want to see it for that.
Yeah, I mean, I think Miles will be dope.
Appreciate that.
I think that's the direction they'll go. Stacey will be dope. I think that too. Look, we'll have to see.
Mm-hmm.
But again, if they put Tom in one more ensemble joint and they don't do any more movies with him, I'd be okay. I really would. But we'll have to wait and see what happens.
And I wonder if the idea behind these 3 extra movies is to kind of make him the new Iron Man linchpin that we hear people spout here and there throughout the internet.
I don't think so. I think if anything, he's just going to be a more developed version of Spider-Man. So, finally getting, I got these particular skill sets under my belt now. I don't necessarily need this mentor person that's like helping me with that. Like, if we got one more, like besides the ensemble, if we got one more Spider-Man movie with him, just really truly in that role, he's learned the ins and outs and all these things that he has to focus on. Just to see that one time, I would be cool with that. And then go on to like the Spider-Gwen, the Miles Morales, and bring things together like that. Like that would be the last piece I would want to see from Tom Holland.
Disney will do everything in their
they're gonna milk it,
geographic and dollar-filled power to keep Tom Holland from being their linchpin character. Everything in their power, because they don't own the rights.
Yeah, because he's tied to Sony.
They're not correct. They are not going to allow him to be. So again, I said this movie is the linchpin right now. This is it.
Oh yeah,
they'll allow it because it's the last one.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? So it being the last thing, there are 2 things Sony has to do with it. They need to, like, the MCU needs to allow to use it to be a catalyst to push forward everything else they're gonna do. Sony needs it to help kick off everything else they want us to care about. Morbius, Sinister Six, Silver Sable, like all of these other films that are Spider-Man spin-off characters that they want to do without having a Spider-Man in those movies. Another Venom, whatever it's going to be. This also has to speak to that.
Right. You got to cover all bases.
Because again, so much of the success that they're seeing is off the back of the fact that these movies are quote unquote tied to the MCU. Or are they? Or aren't they? Well, let's go see. Let's go find out. They just make this money. And I think that's important. So we'll see. Let's talk about why this joint is so important. Hey, dog, listen to me. I told y'all this joint is going to be the most important joint.
Yeah.
Told y'all. There's no doubt in my mind, right? What is happening with this is also very likely. If you remember, there were a lot of people who were complaining about the idea of like Peter moving on from Tony being his mentor and just kind of sliding right into having like Doctor Strange be his mentor. I don't know if I feel like that's what this is going to be.
I don't feel like that.
Go to him to solve an issue.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
He's utilizing his network.
Yeah.
But it's not like, oh, show me the ropes. Because
teach me.
Yeah,
No,
Doctor Strange really hasn't been a superhero.
No.
He was involved in the same thing Peter was involved in. Like,
right.
For all intents and purposes, Peter's done more. Like, you know what
more
I'm saying?
Superhero
like,
stuff. Yes.
Yeah.
People know, like, it's a little bit different. Yeah, Marcus, listen. Some significant things about ticket sales for this movie breaking the internet. One, COVID still exists. People have not been comfortable.
Nope.
For this joint to break,
people getting comfortable.
Fandango,
Man.
AMC, like, again, this is the joint. This is the one. People want to see this. They are ready to go to the theater to risk it all, dog. Like, they're ready to risk it all.
like multiverse. I want to see all the Spider-Man on screen together. Right. Like, there's so much going into this.
The chance of it happening is like we make it. This won't make it the chance for.
Yeah. Ty says Disney can definitely make him the linchpin. Who can say no to them? Sony needs them, and they'll do everything to stay connected. Wrong.
Sony needs Disney and Marvel. Marvel and Sony don't need. They don't need something.
What you have to understand right now is that if Marvel, the MCU decides the MCU was incredibly successful before Civil War, before Spider-Man was ever a part of it.
Yep.
Period. The MCU has had incredibly successful movies with characters nobody cares about, a la Guardians of the Galaxy and Ant-Man, before there was a Spider-Man involved at all. Disney can continue to take, they have already said to you, we're doing a show, Spider-Man the freshman years. They're going to push that. That's their MCU. If they want to take what happened with him in What If and make a show about it, they're doing a zombie show. Guess who was a part of the zombies episode? It don't have to be Tom. It don't have to be on the big screen.
Right.
That's not what it is. Slim does not have to be the linchpin. Right now, Doctor Strange is a linchpin. Right now, Wanda Maximoff is a linchpin. You know what I'm saying? Like, those characters, Shang-Chi. What's going on with that? Right now, Wong is a linchpin. Why this dude just showing up
everywhere?
Wong is the new Coulson.
Rights with Abomination. Like, what? What's happening here? You understand what I'm saying? She-Hulk. That could be the next linchpin. Hawkeye has a show that is successful right now. It like, as much as I love Spider-Man, they do not need Spider-Man as a member of the MCU in order for the MCU to continue to be successful. Again, if anything, it's more likely to water it down. Everybody else has 3 movies, and that's it. Thor is the only one who's getting a film beyond that. That's it. And that's only because he didn't really find success until his 3rd joint.
Yeah.
Iron Man got 3 joints. Done.
Out.
Cap, 3 joints. Done. Widow, 1 joint. You know what I'm saying?
Done.
2 joints.
Throwback.
Doctor Strange, 2 joints. Like, they don't need Slim. Get what?
Back again.
Hey, listen, bro. You know you did it. You know you did it when you start getting the spamities.
Dog, getting the spam. It went into a whole other profile.
But he said, I would see Peter connected with more with Happy, since Happy's been there since day one, and Tony was important but distant. Okay. He don't really like Happy being involved with Aunt May, but okay. Okay.
Ain't got much of a choice.
That could be a thing. I would much rather see him, because Aunt May actually knows who he is, actually sit down and get some actual good advice from her about what he needs to do with his life. But my man's finna graduate. High school about to be over. That's what I'm looking forward to at the end of this movie. Is my man walking across the stage. Now what are we doing? We're going on to college. So if you're going to continue to do films with Slim, where is he? Where does he live? Does he go to school in San Francisco? Is that what puts him in the same place as Venom?
Good question.
Do I actually care? Not really. Like, I don't have to see that happen. You know what I mean? Like, there will always be Spider-Man stuff. And if they give it a rest, when they bring it back, much more likely to be beloved again. And if they just move on to other Spider people, because they have established that they exist. Big deal. That's what I'm saying. Sony needs Marvel MCU. Now, yes, Sony needs Marvel MCU. Great power comes great responsibility. May 2021. I'm pretty sure he's already heard that. I just think we didn't get to hear him here.
We didn't see that. Yeah. I agree with that.
Yeah. These folks chomping at the bit, foaming at the mouth to get these tickets.
Did y'all have any problems getting tickets?
Nope.
Nah, I went on like my normal theater. What I would go to didn't put up a early Thursday showing, which was kind of weird. I don't know if people realize that because there's an 11 p.m. joint on Thursday, and that joint is damn near sold out. And I'm wondering if people even paid attention to that joint.
Hold on, bro. 3 p.m. Thursday.
That's what I got too.
I'm not going at 3. I'm going at 4. But yes, 3 p.m. Like you can go super early if you want to. You know what I mean?
I got like 6:30, I think, or 7:30.
I'll be in a part of that first wave to see this movie because things.
I ain't even lying. I ain't even gonna hold you. I'm gonna be in somebody's ear. Let me get up in that thing early, dog. Let me see what's up. I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm gonna watch this joint on Thursday. I'm probably gonna watch it again on Friday.
Same.
And then I'm probably
on
gonna
Saturday.
take that joint and watch that joint off a video on Cody somewhere until I go see it in the theater again. This is probably a 3-trip joint.
Yeah.
This is probably
my movie pass getting
if it holds up. They broke the internet. And that is an incredible thing right now for movie theaters because Omicron, which clearly sounds like probably something from Beast Wars. Sounds like something from Beast Wars.
Oh, it's a Transformer, definitely.
Is creeping up. Hey Slim. Why you always only worried about yourself? You know what I mean? Like you know what, dear? Maybe. See how you act. The concept of people wanting to go to the theater for the holidays. Like, as a person who worked in a theater, I've always been baffled by people who go to the theater on Christmas Day. Hold on now.
No, the whole fam about to come out.
No, Candace, you do not. Can you get one? I'm sure. Yeah. I mean,
no.
Yes, Edie, you have a ticket. Yes, Aina has a ticket. Yes, your nana and your grandfather have a ticket.
I think people be disappointed if they don't see the other Spider-Man in it after waiting all this time for it.
I don't know if you have a ticket. Joe said he was getting your ticket, Dave Robert Deans.
What was that?
All right, you see it.
I don't know if there's any seats even available around. So I mean, you may be in the front row, but
he don't live where we live. You got to get him a ticket out where he is. Everybody's gonna be disappointed, huh?
No, I think people I think people just claim disappointment if they don't see Andrew and Toby in it.
Yeah, correct. But you know what?
Yeah,
that's the only piece. And you know what? I wouldn't be mad if only if one of them showed up somehow. Like even if it was just the preference would be Toby to be the one to show up. But if somehow they just work one of them in, and then obviously with Spider-Verse being the thing, it's like.
Man, facts.
Shots.
Still in danger zone post surgery, so no theater, still DVD for me. Listen, totally get it.
Yep,
totally get it, 100%.
Hopefully that don't already been hit.
If I recall correctly, the Spider-Man films are still not on Disney Plus.
I know that would be a nice little Christmas trinket. Maybe they can work out.
So I don't know what they're going to do as far as that is concerned, and it getting the streaming platforms and all that. Like this stuff comes out so quick now. You know what I mean? Like I almost watched the new James Bond joint the other day because it was there.
It's there.
You know what I mean? I almost did it. I'm not gonna go to the theater to see The Matrix because it's gonna be there. It's gonna be on.
I'm seeing that joint on IMAX.
HBO. Like,
I'm seeing that joint on IMAX. 'Cause I'm seeing that joint on IMAX.
It's gonna be there. It's gonna be on HBO. Like, it's gonna be there. It's gonna be on. HBO. Like, it's gonna be on.
to the max.
I'll watch it at home, and if I love it, then I'll go. You know what I'm saying? Then
to
I'll
the
go.
max.
People already have a movie in their head, and if it's not that, major disappointment. I think you have a movie in your head. People always do that. Like, this joint is the closest thing to what in-game sales have been like.
Mm-hmm.
And listen, and that last Star Wars joint, people were definitely disappointed with that joint.
Oh yeah,
it still made crazy money. You know what I mean? I think right now there is a high probability that there will be some level of disappointment no matter what. Because I just don't think they can meet all of the expectations. So I understand that. That doesn't mean that people are going to be disappointed overall. Like, I think it just is a matter of where it actually ends up and what it does / says about the MCU.
What's it setting up going forward?
When it's over. Because that's what all of this is. That's what everything is now. Everything now is like, all right, well, we know the next movie's coming. So now I'm just like, all right, bring that Doctor Strange. What's popping? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
By now, people should know that Marvel trailers are massive deception. The trailers for No Way Home, 90% of the first hour of the film. Again, I think this. This joint. I said the same thing. Like, I think this movie maybe gets you through the halfway point, which what we've seen in the trailers. Maybe a little bit beyond that, but I honestly think just like the halfway.
That's about right.
I'd be interested to see. I haven't seen anything yet on what the runtime is, but I'll be very interested to see what the runtime actually.
Hold on, matter of fact, I think I can tell you. Let me look at my ticket.
Yeah, it probably says because I mean, when I look at how here's what I can tell you. When I look at how the times are spaced out for buying tickets in the theater,
it's a little,
it's a little over 2 hours. That's where I'm at.
Purchases.
But speaking of the MCU and of
2 hours, 2 hours and 30 minutes.
There we go. So
right on the nose.
You know, that's 2 hours and 10 minutes. 20 minutes of previews. You know what I mean? So Heather said 2:15. Hawkeye. First 2 episodes are out. Came out last week. People may be watching them while they had some turkey. How do we feel? Overall opinions. What are we thinking?
I'm okay
right now.
Okay.
Like, they gave us those 2 episodes, which I think kind of like how WandaVision was. They kind of wanted to give you a little bit more. Like, even if they would have only given us the 1 episode, like, I think it would have still been okay. Kind of, it doesn't leave you like on a cliffhanger, but it's kind of like I got to have more now. So, but I think the 2 episodes for Thanksgiving, kind of probably give it to the family. You can have your family over, everybody watch it. I think was pretty clean. I think where it's at right now, as far as where the story is progressing, I think it's pretty cool. Eager to see how this plays out.
Yeah, great. I'm really enjoying it right now, and I do think those first 2 episodes were great to put out together, because in the second episode you actually get to see their chemistry and interaction together. You know what I'm saying? Just kind of give you an idea of what you're getting into going forward. So I'm really enjoying Hawkeye so far, and I'm just waiting for my girl to show up in it now.
I feel you, Candace. Right here, it's Echo for me. Right now, young, the way they just showed off Echo at the end of the joint, I was like, again, what the MCU is doing and is so good at. Nobody knows who Echo is. They already announced her show. Before this joint even came out, they announced she's getting a show. So a couple things. Because of that, okay, and because of how tied Echo is in the comic books to Kingpin, and because of the really, really nonchalant, quick mention of, Tony sold that building. Rumors are now that Kingpin bought the building.
Let's do this.
We've been thinking Baxter Building all this time.
Yeah.
But if they use this joint to slide Kingpin in,
clean. I can dig that.
That could be a real serious problem. J. Robert Dean says, my one complaint about Hawkeye is that Fraction and Aja aren't getting paid for writing it. Listen, I don't know if so much of what they've been doing with the MCU is borrowed from current comic runs, or recent comic runs, and I don't know that they've been paying the writers of those books up front for any of that. Now that I think about it, we'll see how that turns out, though.
Is Kingpin's address?
Yeah, I'm fairly certain Tracksuit Mafia about to be some of my favorite guys, y'all. Hey, them dudes dumb.
I love the name. I'm sorry, I was laughing so hard.
Them dudes dumb. Yeah, like I'll tell you this right now. I think Hawkeye is starting off as a show better than almost everything else. Like the first couple episodes of almost every other Marvel show that they've done, I've been like, I like it. I'm looking forward to what comes next, but I'm not. I can't quite see where they're going. But there's so much that has already been told about the direction this has to go. We already know about the new Black Widow and Yelena. We know she's going to show up in the joint. Her name is in the credits. Like, she's in the cast, so we know she's going to show up. So we have that to look forward to. We know that Echo is in it. We know she's getting her own show. We have that to look forward to. So, like, so much about what this show is and how familiar we are with this character already. Does two things for me. One, shows me that they're learning very quickly how to truly position these shows in between the movies and the other shows and set you up for like what's coming down the pipe and build that excitement. The other thing is they should have made Black Widow a show instead of a movie. They didn't because of the timing, because of when that movie was supposed to come out.
Right.
But man, if they'd have been able to break that joint into like 6 episodes, which they couldn't because there's not enough film there. You know what I'm saying? You only have like 2 hours.
Yeah.
Where here you're running closer to 6. She would have deserved that though. You know what I mean? And I feel like I would have appreciated that
a little bit more than a movie. I know that everyone's been asking and wanting to have the Black Widow movie, but this isn't the way that I think everybody wanted it to be, like that prequel thing that kind of was just going to fill in spots and necessarily didn't change certain things for it. But if they would have been able to make that into, even if it would have been even a shorter shit, like 6 episodes, a 6-episode Black Widow show, I think could have played out a lot better than the movie did.
I think the TV shows were around, like that was the idea that people had in their head before, you know, they started putting them out and seeing how well they're done, how well they put together, how they tie and everything. People probably would have liked that a little bit more than the movie. But since that's all we knew at the time, you know, they're doing a movie, you know, finally giving her a movie. So
100%. 100%. Yeah, I don't want to dwell too much on that. We will do a Spoiler Boys on it and go a little more in depth. I'm looking forward to the episode tonight.
Oh, okay.
Tomorrow. Oh man, my 3 a.m. is looking mighty rough because it's that. Yeah. No, for me, and then I get JoJo, and I get all.
That's right.
JoJo is tomorrow.
That's right.
Doing that. Are you off tomorrow?
I sure am.
Oh, okay, good for you. I'm not.
All them Jones getting watched.
You know, I can appreciate that. As soon as I get done with work, I'll do it. I'm not staying up to do that tonight. You know, speaking of TV shows, apparently Amazon wants to do a Mass Effect TV show. Sin?
Yeah.
I don't even need to hear you. Your face said it. Jokes?
I don't know. Like,
okay, they said Shepard won't be in it.
Okay.
Here's what I want to know. Assuming this actually happens, because right now it's just that they're saying they're interested in this, like down the, you know, it's like an investor call. They happen to mention it. Assuming this happens, what would you want to see?
This show would have to be like the New Day jump that came out for Netflix, where like the fans get to make the choices. Like, no. No, you get what I'm saying.
I know what you're saying about all the examples.
You get what I'm saying.
Pick the New Day and the Undertaker.
Of course, I would pick it, but no, you get what I'm saying. Like, I feel like that would be the element that you could put in the show that would make you really reference the game and have those choices in the hands of the viewers. I think that can make it an interesting concept. Now, whether they do it like how like the complex, like how we've seen like the games that we play, like they already have recorded like all of the different things, and like you can just sit there and you just pick it, or if it's like, hey, we're gonna give you episode 1 now. You make certain decisions, then we do it. But that would be a lot to do it that particular way.
That's what you want to see.
I think that would be interesting.
I'm asking you. I'm asking you what you want to see. That's what you want to see.
I would like to see it like that.
Okay. I think I would hate that. I would rather them just try to make it as Battlestar Galactica as they can. Just introduce me to different races. Give me a captain. Give me somebody who's not human. And just and run with it. Sam, what do you want to see?
I do want to see this. I want to see it brought to life. I want to see the Citadel in live action in its glory. And I just give me, like I said, a Battlestar Galactica, Star Trek-ish, like some new characters. Let's explore more of this universe. That's what I want. I do not want the thing that Joe's talking about. Yeah, I don't want that for this. I just want a really well-written, dope WWE show, and that's what I want.
Okay. I agree.
Yes.
I want it to be an adult show.
Yes.
Like the game is.
Like yes.
For the grown-ups.
Let me holler at the aliens.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, I mean, look, I think it's interesting that like Amazon is pushing it because I can't even think of who it was that originally was talking about they were supposed to be doing a movie. And that I think it was Lionsgate, and they just dropped that like earlier this year. And so the fact that Amazon is showing or saying that they're interested in it, again, they have the money to make it happen.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? To do that and put it on Prime, it could be a thing. Like it could work.
100%.
We'll see. I'm not gonna go too nuts about it. Folks.
Mm-hmm.
There is something I want you to see.
Go.
So I'm gonna pop this in here for you.
Oh.
Just a mirage from Kofi Kingston. Who could forget the incredible comeback story of Edge? Every move from Lashley is just thunderous.
A universe populated by monsters, giants, and larger-than-life beings, I was determined to find my own path to the top of the mountain in sports entertainment.
Is that exciting?
A lot of people like love the My GM mode on there.
Oh. No, she get whooped up.
Yeah, she was.
Does this matter to you, dog? Will this make you start playing this game?
I don't. I'm at the point where like I need a demo. I need something that I can actually play before they fully release the game, because with the last few iterations, like I don't have the drive to buy it. Even still being under 2K, I don't have the drive. I never picked up like 2K20, and I never even picked it up, even on like super extra Black Friday sale to just play through it on it. Like
extra Black Friday.
Yeah,
Right.
like extra Black Friday. Like right now, I feel like 2K is just being 2K with the WWE name behind it, and it just hasn't progressed and moved forward. I'm happy that they're adding modes that a lot of people have been asking for, that loved over the years, but with these new, I would say with the last probably since 2K has taken over and Yuke's left, it's just been not that great.
Facts.
As of right now, my hope as far as a awesome wrestling game is honestly being put in AEW's basket right now. GMO is only there because of Austin Creed. Yes, I know he voiced for it.
Oh, okay.
I know he voiced for it. He had some input that he was trying to put forward for it. Take a back. But as of right now, like I have no desire to purchase WWE 2K22 at all. I don't.
I mean, you say I don't listen.
You ain't lying, Marcus.
I don't really care. I mean, I'm looking at
That's
who's
the other
in
issue.
the game.
That's the other issue, Marcus. Like I know 2K probably going nuts about having to probably keep going in here yanking folks out. Everybody they done created models for and everything that they didn't put into it. Like they didn't lost like probably like 70% of everybody they did add to the damn game already.
Yeah, but doesn't WWE like own certain rights to your likenesses and name and stuff like that when they sign you to contract? Like, don't they?
I know they have it. I know they have it. I don't know if, depending on like say when folks are released from contracts, like I don't know if said things change a little bit, maybe, because I know a lot of them weren't just like fired or we have you on, like they were just straight released from contracts. So I don't know if that kind of stuff still stays in place when you're just releasing people like that. But if they still have the rights to do it, then of course we probably will see. We'll see the ones that probably haven't made transitions over to AEW. We'll probably see everybody else in there. But if they made transitions to AEW, they're not gonna be in the game.
I need you to tell me something, and I don't need the long drawn out version.
Mm-hmm.
But a fan did a sneak attack like last week or the week before. That. Am I tripping?
No,
that's what I saw, right?
Yes, you did.
Okay, what happened to Slim?
So dude jumped the barricade and attacked Seth Rollins.
But it looked like he came from backstage.
No, like he came out of the barricade that was right there. Like he hopped the barricade and started attacking. When Seth was leaving, like he just finished the match, walking up the ramp and literally just hopped the gate. On TV, they were quick enough to move the camera away, but obviously you knew something happened.
Nah, Slim. The video I saw, that dude came from behind, like where they walked to go off stage. Slim came from back there.
One of the side jumps. He jumped the barrier. I think he just ran
like,
down.
It ain't like he jumped the barrier right next to somebody.
Yeah.
If he jumped that barrier, he jumped that joint, went backstage and came around. Because
Slim
looked like he was supposed to be there.
Yeah, dude's stupid. I don't like
the video I saw. The dude who was shooting the video was like, "Oh, what? Hey, that's a fan. Hey, that's a fan. Hey, get out of there, dog." Then I heard people, security. We need security. For real?
No, but my man. So apparently, someone interviewed this dude, or like he uploaded a video. And he said he did this for The Rock, and I was just like, for the bloodline or whatnot. I was just like, oh, good God, dude. I'm like,
that's enough. I can't.
Yeah.
I'm like,
that's enough of that. Let's just let's do this.
Seth should have hip tossed his ass.
I would love it. He wasn't ready.
If you knew how you
oh boy.
How would you live your life differently?
This is my world now. Humanity will be all but a memory. This ring will be operational.
The Banished are planning to fire this ring.
We need help, not heroics.
We protect humanity, whatever the cost.
But this wasn't the mission.
The mission's changed. They always do.
You have one bullet against an entire army.
It's enough. What happened?
Something pushed back.
You are not the future.
Our battle ends here. Bear witness.
Is everyone trying to kill you?
It kind of seems like it.
All right, Slim. That is next week.
Play
dog.
it day one with Game Pass.
Dog, that is next week. Sin, you
Let's
got the
do
big
it.
picture. Talk to me.
I know what I'll be doing December 8th, playing Halo. I mean, the trailer got me amped to play it. You know, I'm ready. I'm just waiting for it now at this point. You know, multiplayer is great. It's cool. But now I get to go into the world and blow up aliens. Let's do it. Simple as
Talk to
that.
me, jokes. Jiggity jokes.
Yeah. No, I'm amped to get in. You already know multiplayer is where it is for me, but Halo is my favorite franchise. Like the last one wasn't necessarily my favorite, but this one I'm getting like Halo 2 and Halo 3 vibes from it. I'm real amped to just get in here. Like I'm eager to see what they give us as far as like those things that made us feel good. Like if they do like in Halo 2 and 3, like getting that, going through getting the skulls, getting the super nice armor and everything. If we're gonna see elements like that, as far as the story. But I'm ready to jump in and just knock this campaign out.
Dog, this joint has me so disappointed there won't be any co-op when this joint comes out.
Not for a while.
I am so disappointed in that. And it makes me wonder because now they're talking about co-op not coming until like May.
Yeah, a little way out.
It was supposed to be March. Now they're saying May. And I'm like, because they're saying the first season is not going to end until like May now. And like I'm not going to not play Halo to wait for y'all until May. That's not happening. So like, I'm going to play it. But then like when they add co-op, like if it's just, well, now you can play in co-op and it's not like something extra.
Yeah.
Something else.
You don't want to.
Like, I don't know that they'll be able to pull me back in because the beginning of 2022 is so heavily front loaded with games.
Yes, it is.
So heavy. I don't know, dog. I don't know if they'll be able to keep me. And that's, a little bit upsetting. A little bit. But I'm going to play that joint and then I'm going to watch the Game Awards. That's on the night. Mm-hmm. Jokes, you streaming the Game Awards?
Yeah, I'm be streaming the Game Awards. Co-streaming.
I think I'm working. I don't know if I'm gonna be available during the Game Awards now. I gotta look at it. I may not be able to do that. I might have to jump in with y'all later, but we're gonna recap that thing. That'll be like Tuesday after
Ocean City.
Or maybe the Wednesday after, but it'll be the week after Ocean City.
Right.
We'll recap that and see how that went. I learned a little bit more about Forza Horizon 5 and its snubbings. We'll talk about that another time. Maybe we'll do it after the Game Awards. But I definitely got some more information about
got some tea on that.
there. Yeah, a little bit of tea on that. But you know what? We're not gonna dwell on that. We're not gonna talk about that because we have other things to do. I will tell you this. So since we're on Halo and on the Xbox, the Series S. What's up,
Hey,
Caleb?
Kill it.
This little box right here,
Mm-hmm.
bust the door open, bust it wide open on Black Friday. That joint outsold PS5s and the Series X on Black Friday, which I find very interesting. And I'm gonna dig a little bit into what was said on Business Insider about it.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting because the way the article is set up, it tells you that the PS5, the Series X, and the Switch OLED models remain the most highly sought after consoles. And chip shortages and high demand have rendered them nearly impossible to find. The Xbox Series S, on the other hand, is readily available at a variety of retailers. Now, here's what's interesting about that to me. I know that there is a different chipset in the Series X compared to the S, but they could manufacture more X's than S's if they wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's no doubt in my mind about that. PlayStation doesn't necessarily have that same flexibility because they have to manufacture exactly the same console either with or without a disc, and that's really the only,
That's it.
without the drive. So it's a little bit different. But I find it really interesting because they're just like, yeah, because they're like, it outsold it because they're easy to get. But that was the whole point. Mm-hmm. Like, literally, I swear to you, Phil Spencer said a year ago, we anticipate the Xbox Series S outselling the Series X down the road. Like, it's a less expensive console. It makes sense for a lot of people. It's a great second or third or backup console. Like, all of those things, right? Here's where I feel like things are a little more interesting. Because realistically, at $300, it's kind of incredible to be able to get in there and play Forza Horizon 5, play Halo Infinite next week. You could play Call of Duty on it if you want to. You know what I mean? Next week. But man, if you saved yourself $200, how much does it cost you yearly to have Game Pass Ultimate?
What, like $60 a year, something like that?
Well,
Ultimate.
Not even. Ultimate is like $180.
Mm-hmm.
It's $15 a month for Ultimate. That's still less than what it would cost you just to buy a PlayStation 5 or a Series X. You get the S and get a full year of Ultimate, which you're not even going to pay that much because you're going to get the first few months for $1 or $3, whatever it is they do at the time or whatever. So you're not even going to pay that much. And you just have access to hundreds of games immediately. And then you have all these games that are coming. But let's talk about the cloud for a second. Shall we, Sin?
Sure.
What we do yesterday?
We jumped in the cloud and tried Generation Zero that just dropped in Game Pass.
Just dropped in Game Pass. Multiplayer, survival.
Mm-hmm.
Just like, you know what? I heard some decent things about it. Let's just see how it is. Didn't have to download it. Jumped in, started playing immediately.
Yep.
Built my character. Shot an invite. Sin jumped in, started playing it. Now, here's what's amazing and important about that. The ability to do that, including with something like Halo Infinite, which we just watched the trailer for, on an Xbox One, an Xbox One S, because cloud gaming is now enabled on those consoles as well. That joint ran okay. Since said it was a little choppy for him.
Oh yeah, it was janky for me, like kind of bad. But who knows? It could have been because I was trying to download something in the background, even though it said that it was stopped at the time. Who knows? Yeah. But I do want to try it again now that I'm not downloading anything anymore and see if that fixes it. but it was still an easy, smooth transition to get like in and out the game and everything. Like nothing
No
whatsoever.
doubt.
Yeah,
no doubt. Like realistically, the idea of just being like, you know what, let's just try it, and like let's just try. Like Game Pass in and of itself is very much, just try it. Download it if you don't like it.
Get
delete
out.
Mm-hmm.
But now you don't have to do that. Like the discussion that Sin and I were having as we go into this is, Sin's like, man, I just bought a bunch of joints for Black Friday, and I'm like downloading Far Cry 6, and I'm, I just picked up this, and I'm thinking about grabbing this, and it's like, yeah, you got to download all those. He's like, man, and I'm like, this joint's enabled in the cloud. Let's just jump in and try it. Have you really tried the cloud gaming yet? And he's like, nah, not really. Like, I maybe jumped in a little bit on my tablet. I'm like, nah, but it's enabled on the console now. So can you jump in, and try it there? And he's like, all right, let's give it a try. He said the quality looked like 360 game, but it was fine. That's all that mattered. Exactly. Well, maybe you mean fun. Yeah, like you can tell looking at it that it's not at the highest quality it would be if it was coming directly off of the console. You can tell that. But it was enough for the two of us to play it and be like, you know what? This might be worth the 50 gigs, 56 gigs that it is to download it because we were having a good time playing it. So maybe let's go ahead and download it and see it. Maybe it will be worth taking something else off of the hard drive. Now you don't have to clear stuff off your hard drive
beforehand with certain things to see.
You know what I mean?
You can really get in and just give it a try without having to waste any of your hard drive space.
So we talked about it and was like, you know what? We might just go ahead and download it and see how it runs. Download it. I think that's incredibly important. Right now, I don't think there are anywhere near the number of people who know about something like that or an opportunity or an option like that should know about it. But as it becomes more and more normal / commonplace, as they continue to increase the ability for it to run in the cloud, as they increase the speed at which you're able to do it, like in terms of like its responsiveness and so forth, clean.
On point.
You know what I mean?
Another thing that's dope. Another thing that's dope is the fact that you can download it while you're playing. If you end up liking it, you don't have to stop playing the game. You can just keep playing through the crowd and have it downloading or whatever while you're playing it.
Yeah, if you hit the jewel button and go over to the game and hit the start button, it has an option to start installing it while you're playing it out of the cloud. So no, you don't have to wait. There doesn't have to be like, oh, it's in the cloud. So like, even if it's something that's on Game Pass, you're like, well, we about to jump in now. You know what I mean? You don't have to be like, well, I still got this much time. We all had that. Oh man, I gotta download the joint. Mine's not ready yet. Won't matter. You know what I mean? Under this circumstance, that's a game changer. Like a literal game changer, right? Man, I highly encourage anybody that has an Xbox, if you have Game Pass Ultimate, I highly encourage you to just jump in and try a couple things in the cloud, like a game that you maybe wouldn't normally try, or even something that you're thinking about, but you don't necessarily want to give up the hard drive space or whatever right away. You just want to find out whether or not it's something that you might like enough to do it. Like again, there are some games, and now I'm just like, I'm not ready to re-download Marvel's Avengers. But it's in the cloud. So if somebody's like, you know what, let's run for a little bit. Okay. I'll just run.
Jump.
It'll be a little ugly. That's cool. You know what I mean? But I'm able to jump in and not have to worry about it. I'm just playing it with you. Which I think is pretty dope. For the two of us to be playing, it's almost like the reinvention of Xbox Live. Like that kind of wow moment of like, wow, we're really playing the game together and talking to each other and whatever. Like the fact that neither one of us, quote unquote, own the game and are both playing it, and neither one of us have the game downloaded. We're both playing it, streaming it from the cloud, and playing online together is pretty incredible.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Pretty incredible.
Pretty dope.
Yeah, I think that's dope. That's something everybody should be looking out for, looking into, and so forth. Now, it's time to wrap the show up. Man, we got a lot of rigmarole. I don't really want to go through all of it, but we're going to do this. Jokes, you have a job to do, so hit the job.
Boom.
Shakalaka. Y'all know what it is. There's the link tree. If you're following us in one place and not in others, we greatly appreciate it if you follow us across the board. We would greatly appreciate it if you hit the like button. If you don't mind sharing, please share. If you like what you've seen, subscribe. wherever you are. That just helps us a lot. We appreciate the comments and appreciate you all hanging out with us. Really means a lot to us. Helps us move forward. Make sure you check out our Patreon while you're there. Which is where you can get that additional half-hour discussion that we had about the Matrix before we went live in the Loading Snacks Movie Club. If you're not already a member of Movie Club, I highly suggest you get involved. You will see a poll going up. It was supposed to go up today. Going up tomorrow for choices for the movie for next month. So look for that. Gonna try to keep it not a holiday movie. Try to keep it not a holiday movie. So that is coming. Not this weekend, but next weekend. We will be at Ocean City Comic Con. We'll be doing our normal rigmarole, running around and talking to people and doing interviews, shooting stuff with people. But we, of course, also will be doing our Being Comfortable Being a Geek panel. We are fortunate enough to have 90 minutes to do this one, which I think is super important because the kinds of discussions that we have been having at these panels need more time than 45 minutes to an hour. So really excited about that. We'll also be joined by Ghosty Muffin Cosplay, who's a good friend of ours. So she'll be on the panel along with us, and more than likely, Jose Jaro will also be joining us for that panel, at least for a portion of the panel. We're trying to work all that out currently. So please look forward to that. Sin, you got a job to do.
Yes, so let's shout out our top tier patrons, starting with Anthony Cunningham, Marcus Houston, Susan Dorch, and Tyrone Carson. Thank you very much. We truly, truly appreciate it.
It's the truth. It's the truth. We greatly appreciate y'all. Again, look for some changes to be coming to Patreon beginning of the year. We'll be making some additions, some additional tiers, at least one additional tier, possibly two. We still have some things we have to work out as far as that's concerned, but we're looking to make some changes and some adjustments to that. And some of the work we're doing there. We still are working on creating some other content besides just the live show and what we've been doing with the conventions, but convention season got squeezed all into like a 6-month period. And it's been a lot. There's been a lot of work, a lot of editing, a lot of music, a lot of talking, a lot of planning, a lot of, you know what I mean? So like, it's kind of, disheveled some things out there. You're absolutely right. J. Robert Deans, we do. So yes, we have some things that are brewing. I am working on a new sweatshirt, new design for our merch shop. I want to thank everybody who jumped in on Black Friday and made purchases Black Friday when things were 25% off. That was really cool to see people jump in there and support us then. Again, we'll be looking to add a couple more things to the tier. There's some new stuff in there, like there's a Santa hat, Loading Snacks Santa hat that's available. There's a like a stuffed animal, a puppy. There was a teddy bear. The teddy bear sold out. With a Loading Snack shirt, which is pretty cool. So yeah, some new things, brewing and popping up in the shop there. We're looking at some other things too, for some possibilities. We definitely have some things in the works. Video game related stuff, some art related stuff, some show related stuff. So kind of keep your ears and your eyes peeled. We are definitely working behind the scenes all the time. Even when we're playing video games, we're working. Trust me.
Facts.
Trust me. So with that said, we will reconvene next week. I greatly appreciate all of you hanging out with us, tuning in. Please don't forget to go and support each other.
Yes.
So many of you are great artists or writers or what have you in your own rights, or have your own Twitch channels and those kinds of things. And so again, we're building a community here, and we want to see everybody supporting everyone. So please do that. I think that's it, gentlemen. Is that it?
I think that's it.
And that's about it.
Good. For myself, Gage, for Jokes, and for Sin, this has been Loading Snacks Weekly. We're out. Toodles and lose.